but they went to the right file.
And we're underway. Starting off with 10 arrows inside Link's house.
Don't you just hate it when you go outside and it's raining?
I hate it so much. We get a map check. We have Eastern Palace as a 5/6 crystal, and everything else is a crystal. Starting off with a bow start, that is a great start for the runners.
Downside is just a small downside. We got those 10 arrows and a sword.
Never mind that, we have a sword right out of the gate. That is French vanilla, like you mentioned. Now, I wouldn't be surprised, after the escape sequence, they're going to go straight over to Eastern Palace, maybe, or that, or just go through Kakariko, of course, and make their way over to Eastern Palace.
I'd want to say that, or at least what I would do is go to Kakariko, then do South Shore, and then see what I have, and maybe go to Eastern. But that's also because I can't do dark rooms.
Those dark rooms are going to be very important as we get 50 rupees in the dark... No, not the dark, because that's the map chest. There's our Dark Cross key. Wayne did get a bomb, so he will be the, along with Illis, he will be the one to check in the back of escape.
And if you look at the arrow count, Wayne has the most arrows left over.
Yeah, arrow management is very important in a bow start here. Of course, they do have that sword as a backup in case they run out of arrows. Although, preferably they want to hold on to some arrows in case they go over to Eastern Palace. Although, as typical, we might want to see Kakariko and South Shore first, and then go to Eastern.
And so far we haven't seen the map yet, and there are 5 chests left, and we got the small key, so we have... Sorry, excuse me. So that means that only one item out of those 5 chests is not an item, if you follow what I just said.
Yeah, that would be a possible... With the key in there, it's possible that 3 items are going to be remaining. Or that was 4, if I'm not counting right here.
Yeah, 4. The 3 in the back escape, then Dark Cross, and we have the Sank chest.
So we got a heart container there.
Will we get to skip the sanctuary chest and be reminded every single time to not check it because we know there's the map in there, maybe?
Yeah, it's possible that they might have to, if they forget about that or they're not counting their items, they might lose a little bit of time, but it's very marginal, about a second.
We shall see.
Yeah, magic sack, 20 rupees, and there's that map, so we will be checking that sank chest. Or at least open it up. Now, if they have the hammer, they will maximize their possible Kakariko checks to the magic bat. And Frostbite and Blaine and Sync make it through the escape with only, wow, in 6 minutes. It's always a time they want to see in sub 6.
Oh, and we see Ellis doing the play you said, immediately going to go to Easter.
Yeah, if you have the bow right out of the gate, you might as well get Eastern Palace out of the way. You have access to it, and if you know dark rooms, then this shouldn't be a problem for you. Wolfie going South Shore. Treeple in the Lost Woods giving out a magic upgrade, and we get a bottle in the mushroom area that now upgrades the checks to Sick Kid. Some bombs in the dam. Number 3 bombs over in the Thieves' Hideout. And I was checking Sahasrara, 20 rupees. There's a power glove and another heart container.
Finding that glove means that we're only 2 items away from Dark World access. The Moon Pearl in either the second glove or the hammer.
And Blaine and Frostbite again in sync, going into Kakariko Village, while Wolfie makes their way over to Mini Moldorm Cave. There's a lamp. And okay, we have Aga in Logic, and there's a case of Mario too.
But with that lamp, it's also Death Mountain in Logic.
That is true, and Silver Arrows was picked up over in Mini Moldorm Cave.
And I did not catch what Illis got out of that first chest in Easter.
I didn't catch that either, unfortunately, but Wolfie now making their way over to Ice Rock Cave while Blaine drops down into the well, starting with 50 rupees. And those are the boots over in Easter Palace.
Also, if Illis decides to full clear Eastern right here, we know. Well, he now doesn't know yet, but we know it's fully in Logic as the lamp is freely to get.
We also got ourselves a flute and a hammer. This is a pretty loaded Kakariko.
Just 1 item short of Dark World access.
Yeah, it's just a moon pearl away as both Blaine and Frostbite are activating their flutes. And we did get a reminder hint that the boots are in Eastern Palace.
Like, the game is being so pushy about, hey, you've got to check the chest. Here, boots are here. Just go back and check it, please.
Yeah, and those are 20 rupees over in the chicken hut while Wolfie goes over to the eastern area for Sahasrara. Only 10 arrows over on Stick Kid. And only just a heart piece in the tavern.
And the last item of Eastern is on Armos Knights, which Illis will be sequence breaking to.
Yep, and with that hammer, they do have another check, and that is in the magic bat. And only looks like the red boomerang. Yep, that is the red boomerang. It looks like there was only 3 bombs inside the library, so those boots won't be needed for that particular check. Well, if he picks up their boots, only 20 rupees on the race game as Blaine flutes out and doing their South Shore checks. While Illis... Go ahead.
Sorry.
You go ahead.
Okay. I want to say that the routing of Illis works out better in this seed because he got boots early, and when he checks the Kakariko, he gets everything basically.
And luckily for Illis, he did have enough arrows to clear the Armos Knights as Illis grabs the first crystal of the seed and only just shy of 15 minutes, just under 15 minutes. Just a little bit over 10 minutes, but and he got over 10 arrows, refilling his bow too. While Frostbite makes their way over into Death Mountain. There's a mirror. That is, wow, vanilla. That is a vanilla mirror.
Is this even randomized?
That's what everyone else would say, but to me that's just pretty interesting. But with this, he can go into clear Hera. He can go over to the east Death Mountain too. I don't believe Frostbite went up to check the top of Escape, the top of Spectacle Rock, as he's going to blind check the back of Spectacle Rock, and that was Ether.
And it looks like we are getting a lumberjack check right now because we have.
And it's a good hint for.
And it's just $20.
And Frostbite got a really good hint. That was only some cash on Sahasrella, so. Yeah, that's really nice for Frostbite to pick that one up, as now Frostbite is going to be turning into a fish. That's a great body spite, by the way. Now Frostbite... There's only 3 bombs on top of Spectacle Rock, as Frostbite goes over into Tower of Hero now. Oh, that's a big hint. Flippers or Misery Mire?
And Misery Mire is the green pendant. That's actually a really big hint now, because Misery Mire is the green pendant and Flippers are being in Mire. The Flippers in Mire is a big hint now.
Yeah, and considering that we don't know if we have to clear it, and even if we clear it, we don't have to check Sahasrella because there's always some cash. And we do get some another hint of some sarcastic Eastern Palace, and the sky is blue. Yada yada yada. Oh, that's unfortunate. I feel bad for Frostbite. He accidentally used his mirror. Do that whole entire climb again. While Wolfie clears the Armos Knights. Now Illis is doing their Kakariko checks, getting all of their goodies.
And Wolfie is on their way as well.
Starting out with the Bonk Rocks checks. That's the only check that Frostbite did not do because he's the only one who has not went into Eastern Palace yet. Just 10 arrows though.
And oh, Vanilla Moon Pearl.
Oh my lord. Okay. First we had a vanilla mirror on the old man, and now we have a vanilla moon pearl. Again, is this even randomized?
Also a French vanilla sword, and if you'd count it, a French vanilla boots, as it was in East.
Yeah, that's true.
Only non-French vanilla that we truly fully know of right now is Flippers in Meyer.
Yeah, that is true. And Frostbite gets their first crystal, being Tower of Hera. That is Nia from Xenoblade for Wolfie's model. Or Wolfie sprite. Yeah, Frostbite now going over to the Eastern Death Mountain area. Oh, that's a mushroom over on the floating islands. Now Frostbite going through Spiral Cave. And with that, of course, we do have our Dark World access, but Frostbite doesn't have that Power Glove just yet because he has not gone to Eastern Palace or over to the Eastern area.
Oh, so that means Frostbite can't check Dark Death Mountain.
No, he cannot. Even then, we still need a Times Miss for that. Wayne clears the Armos Knights. That was the same card in the bottom two chests of Paradox Cave. Only a heart piece on the desert ledge as Blaine makes over to Akina's cave. That's a cape inside Paradox Cave. And Quake.
Let's just hope that Frostbite doesn't think, oh, there's an Ego seed, let's just quickly go to Aghanim.
Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Since he knows that since he's two items, he's only just an item away, and that's just that glove. Now, for us by starting their short checks. I was gonna grab their vanilla mirror from the old man.
One advantage Frostbite will have above the others is having silvers for the Armos Knights.
That is true, even although Wolfie did have silver arrows going into that Armos fight too. Because they were the ones who got the first and then went into Eastern Palace. And now Frostbite is making their way over to the eastern area. Wayne picks up his vanilla mirror. Ellis grabs his ether.
And Wolfie is doing fake flippers. Well, fake flipper, water.
Yep, and let him check a couple areas. Only some bombs on top of Lake Hylia. And Frostbite grabs up those gets the power up, and that's your Dark World access.
Our first runner with full-on Dark World access.
Oh, that's a fire rod, I want to say, on Zora.
But Wolfie can't grab it.
No, he can't. She's stuck. She bonked the rock, and oh boy.
Oh, and as Chad is pointing out, Skullwoods is locked behind Mystery Mire then. Because for Fire Rod you need the flippers, and flippers are in Mire.
Yeah, and that also requires a medallion, whatever it is. Nope, but I don't believe we did get a I don't believe we got a map check at all from any of the runners in Dark World. Well, what we do know though is that Pod is a crystal, so. And Pod is built large. Not like that matters specifically. And now Blaine gets his vanilla moon pearl. And only a Jokin inside that pod here. Now it was the first run to have 2 crystals, Wayne following shortly afterwards. Now, I like Frostbite's running here as he's going to pod and then going over to the eastern area. He will be grabbing those boots after he clears pod.
big key in Cold is kind of French vanilla. Well, it's French vanilla, obviously, but kind of French vanilla because it's right beneath the vanilla spot.
Mhm. Wolfie gained the big information that flippers are in Misery Mire. Oh, half magic inside pod. Very helpful. And there's also a shield there, but half magic. Wow. Well, Illis is actually going towards Hype Cave now. Wayne following shortly afterwards. Oh, that's Tinesmiths. And Temper Sword. Okay, that's pretty hype, I would say.
So now Eastern Dark Death Mountain is now open.
Yeah, that was pretty nice for Dwayne and Illis to go down there. Wolfie clears Muldorm.
And it looks like Bwain and Illis are... Well, Bwain is following in Illis' footsteps.
Illis checking Stumpy first. Oh, that's Gold Sword. Okay, then.
You will never go out of your way to get Gold Sword, but if you get it, it's always nice to have.
Oh, yeah, of course. Dwayne making their way over to K45. Only 10 arrows. Illis checking the digging game now. Only a heart piece. Now with this, we are able to check the Mire medallion, as well as the Turtle Wag medallion if we have to go up there.
Oh, and it looks like we have had a map check as well. I missed it.
So did I. So we get off a 5/6 crystal on Swamp Palace, and then these Town and Ice Palace are our remaining pendants. Meanwhile, Frostbite takes on the Helmassar King. And down he goes with only a single shot to the crystal with a silver arrow. Well, it looks like some rupees on the hammer pegs, and it looks like in the purple chest. Blacksmiths don't have anything. Only 5 rupees inside the C-shaped house, while Wolfie's going to be grabbing their Tempered Sword and their Titansmiths.
And Frostbite is going to grab up their boots right here in Eastern. They will be grabbing it like about 20 minutes after the others, which means that the others have 20 minutes more on boots, which makes them have their overall movement just be much faster. So Frostbite loses just a little bit of time on this.
Yeah, well, Illis is going to be turning in that purple chest. And only a big payout, only 300 rupees. There's those boots for Frostbite.
Well, that $300 does help him go to Zora faster.
Yep. Yes, there is flippers in Meyer. 20 rupees inside the treasure game.
Also, if Swamp wasn't required, if Thieves Town was a crystal and Swamp was a pendant, you could have just skipped the flippers altogether, as you can get the fire rod anyway with the fake flipper and water walk combination.
Yeah, and looks like Dwayne and Illis found the shovel. While Dwayne is making their way over to the bumper cave. That's a blue boomerang over on the bumper cave.
And Illis checked the first 4 chests in Thieves Town before mirroring out.
Dwayne did the same thing too, and I believe this is a good call. My only concern is that maybe he might be, I'm not sure if he will be doing the shovel soon, but instead it's going for Meyer. And he is able to clear Desert Palace.
And
I believe
Ether is required for Meyer. This means that we can enter it.
Yep, and only 51 rupees inside the Meyer shed. On up on Blaine's second graveyard ledge is King's Doom. I believe he did not pick up anything of use, and King's Doom did not have anything of use too. That was only a heart piece, and now Frostbite is the first one of the runners to have 3 crystals. Thanks in part to that combo. And that was Boots Luck, and we do have a unique item in Kakariko World. Plenty of unique items to really count, so not too useful. The book was in Graveyard Ledge. Okay. So with that, they're allowed to check the tablets and then read the pad. And now Frostbite's going to be heading over to Hype Cave now. Looks like they're going to be grabbing their Tempered Sword and their Titan's Mitts. We'll be setting up for the Hammer Yump. Nails it. And only 10 arrows on the Bombos tablet. When and Frostbite actually almost in sync as they're also in the mire area. Meanwhile, Il is heading through Desert Palace, the final bit of that as making a beeline for Lammolis.
And Frostbite, having that hint that flippers are in mire, immediately rushes into mire to get his flippers.
It makes sense. Though admittedly, I would have hoped that he would use the book or use the. He would have went to Desert Palace first, then Mire. But the fact that Mire has the flippers too, it also kind of works out for him as well. But maybe after he's done, he can go through Ymir out and then back into Desert Palace, clear that, and we should be good to go. As Illis grabs the crystal from Lammolis. And that is a bug net in Mire. Which
means that as soon as we find the flippers, we can get out of mire because it's not necessary any further.
And that is really nice for Frostbite to know that information. Now that would technically be a God Mire if it was not a pendant. Meanwhile, Blaine is going through the back of Desert Palace. There's those flippers in the compass chest, and Frostbite's out of there. Wolfie clears the Helmus Arcane, and Blaine opens up the door to fight Lammolis. Illis grabs his flippers. Wayne opens up Misery Mire while Wolfie is going through the Mire shed. Nobody has checked Catfish. That will be an option when they get around to it. The question is, who would actually be willing to go over there first? Because they will be able to get to check Zora, because they have Zora money. if Illis decides to clear pod and then make their way back through and check the pyramid ledge, it's possible they might do catfish afterwards, because it's in the area.
And catfish is really annoying to route in, so most of the time people will route it in after.
Yeah, so it's likely that Illis will do that as soon as he clears pod. Meanwhile, Frostbite enters the Lamolus fight. Excellent work from Frostbite with those silver arrows. And now Frostbite is up to 4 crystals.
That is over halfway of all the crystals we need.
Yeah, and just above 40 minutes, too. That is amazing.
40 minutes is just over halfway to an hour.
Yep, that is 100% true. Meanwhile, Blaine is going over to the pod area next, while Wolfie follows Frostbite's footsteps a little bit as she goes into the back of Desert Palace.
So let's quickly check what all we need, what items. We need both the rods, we might need bombos, and hookshot. And that's basically it.
Of course, we don't know what that medallion is, because no one has checked Turtle Rock in terms of medallions. Frostbite going to their village of outcast checks while Wolfie clears Lamolus.
Oh, and Wolfie is mirror bonking.
Yikes. And it looks like Wolfie's elected to go over to the mire area. He will be grabbing those flippers. Now, I'm not sure if someone did this already, but I don't think any one of the runners have done the shovel spot yet. If they did, I must have missed it.
As far as I know, none of the runners have done it, but none of the runners have also checked further into Feast Town beyond the first 4 chests.
Well, he was attempting to do the hammer jump, but didn't get the right pixel, so he's gotta do it again. Oh. Ped. Good point. Now the ped. It's kind of unlikely that there might be an item that is on the ped. Given that what we know already, that the fire rod is on the Zora ledge, the only thing that could possibly be there would be, if I'm not mistaken, hook shots, the ice rod, or someone points out in the chat, bombos. Although this all hinges on the possibility that bombos might be required for Turtle Rock. First, by doing the hammer pegs, their blacksmith chain as Illis enters the Helmasaur King fight.
And Wolfie also getting the 2 items and immediately mirroring out of Mire.
Again, makes sense. While Wolfie going over to Agina's cave, while Blaine makes his way over to the back of Pod. Now, as I'm thinking about this too, if the ped has what we need, all the runners are required to double dip. Well, they have to do a double dip into Misery Mire. Now, Illis going through Skullwoods, curiously enough. I'm not sure if Wolfie took that depth intentionally or what.
That is 1 item out of Skullwoods right now.
We have one through Thieves Town. There isn't anything there was only about a few items, and that was it. Yeah, the first 4 of Thieves Town, there was only a shovel that we know of already. Now, I'm not sure what's going on with Wolfie's side. Something must have happened. I have no idea. And we did pick up 10 bombs over in Skull Woods. Those are the same 10 bombs that the uncle gives you. And that's Ice Rod over on the hobo.
This reduces pedestal down to hookshot. And that is only if Ice Palace has the right configuration for it.
And only a heart piece on top of the pyramid ledge. And Blaine is making that check over into Catfish. We'll be grabbing that fire rod. And with that, we're only just a hook shot away, and if possible, the Bombos medallion for go mode. There's Wolfie. It was now grabbing the Book of Medora. Only 5 rupees on the Catfish. Yeah, Blaine's making that play over to Zora right now, so he's grabbing that fire rod. Once he checks Zora, and that will put us only 1 or 2 items away from go mode. Blue mail was given out from Zora.
So, now that we have that we don't know where it is, where would you guess where Hookshot?
It's a tricky call. If possible, they might want to go over to. I would probably say the 5 items at Turtle Rock might be of use, but then again, I would rather clear something else, like I know I can clear right now, like something pretty easy to clear, like Skull Woods. Even though, honestly, there is only 2 items inside Skull Woods.
And one of them has been found already as well.
Yeah. It's all a matter of numbers in whenever I play. So I would probably go over to the Turtle Rock and get 5 items there. I'm able to clear it too, so it really just comes down to how comfortable I am with Turtle Rock or Skull Woods in this scenario.
For me, that would be an easy call. I'm way more comfortable in Turtle Rock than Skull Woods. But Illis is making the call for Skull Woods, and so is Blaine.
Now, Blaine and Illis do have that book, so they can check the ped when they clear Mothula. The pet check-in, after that pet check is done, we'll be able to narrow down our options. We know the possibilities of the ped being the hookshot is there, but on my bets, my heart's set on probably hookshot being inside Turtle Rock due to the 5 checks there. And that was an easy macho fight for Blaine, as now he's got 5 crystals.
And the last item that is in Skull Woods is in the chest that is beneath.
Yeah, Blaine's opting to check that now before going to the pad. Possibly. Frostbite's gonna pick up that blue mail. It was clearing Mothula again pretty quickly. Yep, so there's that pet check from Dwayne. It's gonna be heading over there now. See a green goo in a bottle. That is a bottle inside the ped. So that now narrows it down to Turtle Rock.
We found Hookshot in the chest beneath, in Skull Woods.
Oh dear. So that is Schrodinger's go mode right now, because we don't know if Bombos is required.
It could be a pedestal seed if Bomba. Well, no. We checked. It can't be.
No. Because green goo, there was a green bottle, a bottle of green goo, inside the ped. That was a pretty early dead for the ped. So. Interestingly enough, Frostbite's in Ice Palace.
That's an interesting call to make, while he could have cleared Skull Woods.
Yeah, that's a problem. Well, if he clears down Mothula, while Dwayne enters Skull Palace. Now, if we do find Bombos here in Swamp Palace, that will pretty much guarantee the go mode. Because right now we're in Schrodinger's go mode.
Would you, what would you think? Will Dwayne go to Turtle Rock if he doesn't find Bombos right?
I believe he would. It's the most logical thing to do. If it requires Quake or Ether, then of course that's go mode. So unless he decides to keep going through Swamp Palace just to be a little bit safe. The hookshot was below the final portion of Skull Woods. Frostbite in the secondary bomb jump of Ice Palace. The problem is that he does not have that hookshot because he did not go into Skull Woods just yet. And a unique item is about the pose, and that was that book, so not too useful again. And Boing clears Swamp Palace. Now, if his assumption is correct, we do have a go mode. It's all hinging on the possibility that Bombos is not on Turtle Rock. Required Turtle Rock.
We have a 66% chance of go mode and a 33% chance of, well, no go mode.
Yeah, for the moment. It's possible that he has to, before he gets started, it's possible that he might have to go back into to Swamp Palace. It really depends, though. There is a fire shield inside Ice Palace, but that's not really too important in the case of this. And now, Frostbite setting up for a pretty interesting bomb jump, nails it. But Blaine is starting to make their way through the top of Death Mountain. Now, this will all depend on before he gets down like there. But at the moment, we also have the possibility of Hookshot Cave being where we have to go. Super Bunny Cave is also an option. But we're not done those 3 pegs, and are we still in go mode, or we still have to find a Bombos step? And we have to find Bombos. Unfortunate for Blaine.
Let's just hope for them that it's either in Super Bunny or Hookshot.
Yeah, that's the issue. Ill is making the smart play and going over to left side swamp just to get it out of the way. 300 rupees inside and only a heart piece inside the Super Bunny cave. Bombos, Pet is already dead. We found out that it's only just a green goo.
4 chests in Hookshot Cave.
Only a heart piece inside the bit chest. 20 rupees tier. A heart container. 10 arrows. And 20 rupees. It's gonna... Now, if if he goes to left side swamp here, then this is gonna be a big problem. Blaine actually making the play over to... Blaine making the play over into the floating islands. We know that there's nothing of importance here. But he's actually, well, before not really parts. There's a mushroom. It's possible that it might be on the. He's thinking that might be on the witch.
And checking Spike Cave.
Yeah, Spike Cave's also an option. He does have a cape.
Yeah, and you're right there, so it's a smart check, in my opinion.
Yeah, but Ill is playing it safe, going over to left side swamp. Now, if Ellis is right in this possibility that Bombos is on left side swamp, that he will be able to steal the lead from them. Blaine making a ether tablet check though. Oh my god! Oh jeez. Okay, about 1 hour 4 minutes exactly. Blaine's in go mode.
Game, that's the wrong medallion. That's the wrong medallion, please.
Oh, that's.
In the seed of French vanillas, another French vanilla item to end it off.
That's great, and then of course he gets dead rocked after that. Oh,
nice.
Book was required. You had to get that out of Graveyard Ledge. And now Frostbite gets his Bombos.
But Frostbite hasn't done Skull Woods yet. And
yeah,
it looks like they'll be making the Turtle Rock play before. This does not look good for him right now.
No, it does not look good for him. He banked on Ice Palace being something and turned up empty.
This is such a fun seed.
Yeah, this is one wild seed. And what a fun one to watch too.
I'm jealous of all the watchers being able to watch this seed.
Same. I should have ran this. And oh, actually, a good hit for Frostbite, but we already know that fire is not really required, and so now Illis enters go mode at 1 hour 6 minutes and 8 seconds.
That's right, Demensive pointing out in chat, Illis is not in go mode, doesn't have Ice Rod yet.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Oh, right. He's got to go over to the hobo. Jumped the gun there. I didn't read the tracker there.
I would have done the same if it wasn't for Demensive pointing it out in chat.
Yeah. Shout out to our tracker team. We have Oro and Demensive on tracking. Of course, be sure to give all the runners a follow. They're putting on a good show, and what a show in fact too. This is because, as we mentioned before, this is a fun seed. Yeah, for Illis, he's got a double dip Turtle Rock, which is unfortunate for him, while Wayne making a huge track. This is his race to lose. Overgrabs his bombos, still missing that Ice Rod.
And Frostbite having bombos and Ice Rod but no hook shot.
Yeah, he's got to go over to Skull Woods in order to get that. Yeah, the good news is that he can clear Turtle Rock, but the problem though is that he still has to go through Skull Woods to get back. Unfortunately for Brain, he has to go through Laser Bridge, but again, this is his race to lose, so he's not in too much problems here.
And even then, this is such a fast seed.
Yeah, so there's that key, so he doesn't have to go check that final chest.
And Wayne is coming up on the very last fight for a crystal here.
Yep. Dwayne enters the Trinex fight. Really nice really nice first phase for Dwayne. and a really excellent flight for Trinex. Well, really excellent Trinex flight for Blaine. So now Blaine gets the final crystal. We're gonna play a little game now. You all know it. It's a big game guessing game. There are 22 locations where the big key could possibly be. It could be in random room. Could be over on the right side. If you're masochistic enough, you can put it in tile room. My guess, though, is the same that I've always done before. Random room with the exact location being 11, assuming that they go hook room first and then left.
Let's mark the time as soon as Dwayne enters, so we can check the difference between runners.
I mean, what gives? He's way ahead, so he enters at 1:11:40. Going left side first. Starting off with 3 bombs on Bob's torch. Now Frostbite enters the Trinex fight. Number 2 is a key. Number 3 is bombs. Number 4 is a key. And number 5 is 50 rupees. And Dwayne is going to be employing some Dark Magician strats here.
If he finds the big key on right side, I'm gonna call magic.
Number 7 is some red mail, and number 8, I believe, that's 8, is 10 arrows. I miscounted.
That was number 7.
It was 7. Alright.
Unless I miscounted.
I'll go off of your word and say it's 7. So it checks 8 through 11 now.
Let's see.
Number 8 is a map. Number 9 is a piece of heart. Number 11 is a 10% piece of heart. And number 11 is the compass. So now he's going to grab that key, mirroring out and doing the rest. So it's going to be in left side left side against tower, unless it also turns out to be it's in the tile room. I believe that's vanilla compass. I don't know.
In before sudden key sanity.
Alright, number 12 is a heart container. Coming up is number 14. Or no, 13. Wait, is it 13? It's hard to tell, but that's only a heart piece, so off to random room.
And it does look like Frostbite is going to do the Skullwoods play right here.
We'll finally be able to catch up. So coming up random room is a bottle. That's all 4 bottles. Always gotta do is Bob's. So now it's Bob's torch, no, Bob's chest rather. Ice Armos, and a tile room. And at this point, I've lost track. So. Alright, coming up is number 18 now. There is a heart piece there, so now it's up to the Ice Starmost fight. Oh, Illis is checking the mushroom. Oh boy. Number 19 is Basic Heart. Okay, number 21 is that big key.
We don't do it officially, but unofficially you earn our gratitude. Peak Dog, if that's how you're supposed to pronounce it, has the has the closest guess of 20 out of the guesses that have been made. So congratulations, Peak Dog.
So now Blaine makes their way up the tower. It was over on the Ice Starmost. Now Frostbite he clears Mothula, and now is making their way over to that final chest. Frostbite will enter go mode at 1 hour 17 minutes and 13 seconds, and yeah, I feel bad for Frostbite here, and as he got some rage flashes there.
And it looks like Frostbite and Illis entered go mode at about the same time.
Yeah. Oh, Illis had got that ice rod from the hobo. Wolfie also doing the mushroom. Boyne enters the Lambo 2 fight, clears it no problem. And there was actually the final shield there, so that final shield was over on the witch, so
And Illis had been able to save his portal, so he can enter through the safety door.
good call for Illis to doing that. So now Illis about to approach the Trinex fight, getting that ice rod prepared. Again, a really nice Trinex fight for Illis. First face run, rather. Ice Roar was on the hobo. Which you have to get the flippers out of Misery Mire logically. And as we know, that the book was required. That was on Graveyard Ledge for those bombos. And the treasure on Moldorm was the Cane of Berna.
Always nice safety to have.
Now Boyne enters the Aga 2 fight. Illis making their way over to Ganon's tower. This is a good setup here for Boyne, but yeah, down goes Aga 2. Really excellent fight there. Dwayne now drops down into the Ganon fight. And this will be a really quick fight for Dwayne with that gold sword in hand. He's got a really good position here. Can just do some dash strats here.
Already on the third phase for Dwayne.
Teleportations a little here and there, but Dwayne enters phase 4. Did we get those arrows in the light world? We definitely did very early on. Does not get the right position for the torch glitch, but it's alright. As 2 doubles will end off Dwayne's run.
Just has to make sure to not stumble over the bridge. But I don't think Dwayne is clumsy enough to do that, and he doesn't. And Dwayne is our first place finisher with a time of 1 hour, 22 minutes and 7 seconds. Put GG's in chat for Dwayne.
Yeah, he is the overall winner of the race. We'll try to get him in for a post-game interview. Oh, Wolfie's doing the rest of Thieves Town. Now Illa starts to climb up the tower.
And we are joined by our winner of this race, Dwayne. Hello and GG.
Hey everybody, thanks.
GG.
That was almost a super fast one.
Yeah. A lot of vanilla items and throughout the entire scene. Also French Vanilla's ones too.
Yeah, that Death Mountain sequence, Vanilla Mirror, Vanilla Moon Pearl, that was fun.
Aside from that, though, if you got anything to say, ask Druid, floor's on you. Head up. I got nothing.
Yeah, this seed was just amazing. At the start, it went really fast. And what were some of your thoughts at the start?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that I'd lost a lot of time kind of putting off pod and doing some stuff in the dark overworld. When the items started coming together, you know, flippers leading directly to both rods, and then finding hookshot directly after following fire rod, I was kind of kicking myself for not following the items sooner, because I know a lot of people do like to route that way. Hey, I got this item, I'm going to immediately go and follow it. And this was definitely, for 90% of the seed, a seed where that was paying off big time. Until it turns out you have to go and get the book so you can get bombos. And so luckily, all that time I thought that I'd wasted doing Dark Overworld got me the book, and I was able to pick up bombos pretty soon after finding out that I needed it. So that kind of worked out. But for a while, it was looking like, okay, I'm going to put up a good time, but somebody else is going to put up a really, really good time if they were just a little bit more aggressive. So kind of got bailed out by that book at the end.
I don't really have much things on my mind about to ask. Only like
Yeah, it's real straightforward. There's not too much to talk about with this one. There's a lot of items at the start, and then quick finish. And you know, I'm sure some people are maybe skipped out on that book, and I haven't checked out anybody else on the restream. I don't know how close everybody else was, but I'm sure there's going to be a couple people who tried to go maybe a little too fast in this one, left the book behind. They may have some tough searching ahead of them to finish it out, but most of it, sometimes that happens with seeds like this. It looks like it's going to be the friendliest seed in the world, and it turns out, nope, you got baited. But yeah, not too much about it, really.
The only thing that kind of threw a little bit of a wrench in the works was that bombos, but it was picked up relatively close by, so that didn't really cost too much time.
Yeah, it's just a question of did you have the book or not. With where the book was, it is pretty possible to have gotten a little too aggressive and not picked up the book. And if that happens, people are in for kind of a bad time.
Yeah.
And as you said just a little before, you haven't checked out Restream. Here's a little tidbit of information. It is right now on the Canon file.
And Frostbite also making the climb. Wolfie had checked the pyramid ferry and found a single arrow.
Oh, and one of the trackers given a question. Wayne, what was your plan if Bombos wasn't on Death Mountain?
I actually, for a second, forgot that I hadn't done bombos because I was starting to go down to Spike Cave and said, hold on a second. I don't think I've checked one of these tablets. And then I put 2 and 2 together. Yeah, that's right, I did bombos, but not ether, so let's check that before Spike Cave. So I was going to do Spike Cave and then probably suck it up and go to Ice Palace. There wasn't too much left in the overworld. I don't have any idea when I would have went back into Swamp Palace to look for bombos. That probably would have been last. So it probably would have been Ice Palace next, and then maybe something like finish off Thieves. But there wasn't too much left, honestly. I'd pretty much done most of the overworld before I even went into Pod. So I was actually very happy to find Pod was pretty empty, because I did delay that longer than I figured most people would, so if Hookshot or Fire Rod or something like that was in Pod, I was going to probably lose some time, just because you could have gone right there in the Dark World, and I kind of put it off to do a lot of the overworld. But yeah, I didn't have that much left, so it probably would have just been some pendant diving into Ice Palace, finish off Thieves, you know, things that would have been okay if that's where Bombos was from a race perspective. But if it was in Swamp, I don't know what I would have done. Probably would have got back there last. Pyramid Fairy maybe was an option too, I guess, because I would have had Pyramid Fairy done. But just as I was trying to figure out what that order of things was going to be, that's when I kind of got bailed out. Bombos showed up, so we'll never know.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Illas has finished. Illas finished in 6th place with a time of 1 hour, 30 minutes and 19 seconds. And Illas is already here. Hello and G.
Hey, GG. I hope you
GG.
can hear me properly. I have a new headset, but I'm not sure. Not well enough?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, you're good enough.
Okay, right. So yeah, GG. Feels a bit bad getting beaten by 8 minutes, but I knew what went wrong, so I guess I'll take it.
Well, 8 minutes. For me, 8 minutes is as close as I would love to be with some of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. The scene was pretty straightforward, and there was a lot of vanilla locations, a lot of French vanilla locations, and this entire scene.
That made me laugh quite a bit. That's why I checked Ice Road Cave first after leaving Turtle Rock. Unfortunately, it was the other kind of obvious location I left, which felt a bit bad. But yeah, I'm not too mad at this. I think that was a decent run, especially since I haven't played in like a week.
Yeah, same for me. But Frostbite enters the Agatitude fight. I'm actually, while I'm here, I might also update a couple of the runners while I'm here. Shire finished in 2nd place with a time of 1:23.51. Shazame in 3rd with a time of 1:25.14. Boosh with a time of 1:26.04 in 4th place. Nelson Alex in 5th with a time of 1:29.56. Also had a straight up tie for 7th place between Salty Fry and Fat Bull 300, both finishing with a time of 1:31.38. Jolo Ninja finishing in 9th with a time of 1:31.45. Finnig, I want to say, finished in 10th with a time of 1:32.08, and Edium in 11th place with a time of 11:32.36. Frostbite now drops into the Ganon fight.
By the way, I gotta say that this seed was not terribly straightforward for me since I had to look for the ice rods, which could have been anywhere. I felt like it was a bit harder for me.
Yeah, the only
there were 2 parts that weren't linear in this seed, which were the book on Graveyard Edge and the ice rod, basically. The rest was all.
I'm so glad I didn't skip that book after seeing that bombos fell from the sky and it was required.
Yeah, that book did throw a little bit of a wrench in the works. And be fair the ice rod being logically required for that ice rod.
I was lucky with how I sequenced all the flipper stuff, because I did pod into all the flipper checks. So I was just able to get Hobo real quick after leaving pod, mirror to Hobo, do Pyramid, and then Catfish and all the Zora stuff too for all the rods. So that actually worked out.
But there's the problem that you tend to skip both with this kind of route. I did all the north checks and routed to Catfish to the Zora domain, which made me skip Hobo for a while.
Yeah,
that's why I
if you
didn't
go
get
from
the
the
ice
north.
rod. But in exchange, I had the book, and I think that was kind of worth it.
I should update you now that Frostbite 3030 has finished with a time of 1:35.09 in 13th place. and just a little bit ahead of him was Hayfield Bay in 12th place with a time of 1:35:03.
I see Wolfie in Ice Palace, which makes me think that he may have forgotten about Hobo. Seeing all these finish times, diving all these pendant dungeons. Maybe he doesn't look at IRC and it's not getting that kind of meta hint, but if I'm seeing everybody finish around 120 something, I don't think I'm going to
predict-
pendant dives here.
I predict he's gonna finish Ice Palace, and then find the Ice Rod on Hobo, and then be annoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of these seeds you see the finish times and you say, it's got to be something early. So if you've got anything that's been open for a long time, like on your tracker, you tend to go right there. But some people don't look at IRC; they want that information. And it doesn't really matter. I mean, once you're at this point, if you lose by 10 minutes or you lose by 20 minutes, it's all the same. But it is tough. It's one of those, you know, I'm gonna just keep diving pendant dungeons and not find anything.
And we're joined by Frostbite. GG, man.
GG. My run was horrible. GG to Dwayne was a good run again in Illis, but I honestly, like, it was feeling okay until I found the fire rod, and then it just went horrible after that. That's just
Yeah, I feel for you. That was rough.
Yeah, like honestly, I made two really bad decisions in this game. Not going right to Eastern and getting the boots. So I'm sure I was last on stream to get the boots. Might have been last in the race to get the boots. And then after I got the fire rod, instead of checking the Hobo like I was going to do because I was checking all the water checks, I went into Ice Palace and then I checked the Hobo, and then I decided, well, let's not go to Skullwoods, let's go to TR. So like between that and like mirroring out of Tower of Hera on accident, I could probably find a good solid like 8 minutes of like not even having to do really smart things, just not being like a moron in the seed for me. But I played pretty well, I felt. But yeah, my routing was good for the first half until I found the booth, and then I wasn't even that mad because I checked a lot of stuff very efficiently up to that point. But then I just made every wrong choice after I got the fire rod.
Yeah. Wolfie now has that mirror shield, but going through Ice Palace now.
Yeah, with the the only hope I had was that the Graveyard Ledge would mess people up, but with where the mirror was, it was so easy to find early on.
Yeah. Especially the Moon Pearl too. Both vanilla locations, which...
Yeah, exactly. But if the mirror had been like Inspectable Rock, that might have been a bit of a different story. But because like I'm assuming you get the flute, you return the old man to get that save point right away. Oh, there's the mirror. Okay, so it's not that. Like I felt like any potential gain I got going there before Eastern was just not really worth it. At least Pod was crystal, because I went there without checking what it was. I was happy that that was the case. That was about the last of my joy when running this seed. I had good boss fights in this one too. I guess I could say that as well. But yeah, like when you accidentally mirror out because you don't look at what item you have and it's a blue item and you just see it out of the corner of your eye and you're like, oh, it's bombs. I can do the bomb jump. Nope, not happening. And then I didn't even have enough health to try the bomb jump my second time up, so I had to lose more time because of that. That was when I was like, okay, I'm basically gonna have to get incredibly lucky to have any chance of finishing the top 3 in the seed. But no, it was a fun race. I mean, I finished with Gold Sword and Silver Arrows and had them for a long time, so you just get to run around ripping things up. That makes me happy because a bunch of the seeds I played recently, it seems I'm always finishing on Master Sword. But yeah, it was a pretty jet seed, and there were a couple tricky spots, and I just made some really stupid calls after the fire up. So.
Yeah, that the Gold Sword being really early in the seed that really helped contribute to pretty jet seed, but Thanks again for putting on a good race.
Well, and just one more thing. The other thing that contributed to a jet seed was the hint for the flippers, because that was the item before hints that would have absolutely destroyed people, but because of the hint for it, it made it not a problem whatsoever. So hints were really helpful in this scene for that respect.
I don't
Oh, yeah.
know about you, but I would have tipped Misery Maya.
I might not have dipped Misery Mire as early as I did, but I would have.
Well, that's true.
Because I went there right after I found the myth out of Hype Game, so. But I'd already cleared pod by that point. But no, I would have probably done Mire as well, but it's hard to say. But no, and I kind of regret going to Skullwoods before I checked like the boots checks up into Catfish, but I didn't, you know, I generally just do that. I skipped it the first time around, I wasn't going to skip it the second time around. But the book is hot. That's all. Another thing, the book is hot lately.
That's what I was saying. Just bailed out by the book again. What are the chances? This is the worst item usually in the game.
Yeah,
and
I hate
twice
the
in
book
a
so
couple
much.
days, bailing people out.
Yeah,
I
and
got
I
that
hate the
hard.
book so much.
Well, I got wrecked by it yesterday in the daily, but even in the nightly last night, I think the book was somewhere you could see it but not get it right away too. It was, it might have even been Hylia Island again. I can't remember, but the book is on fire.
Yeah.
It's my least favorite item too, though, by a mile.
Now we will all follow it for like a month and just get
Yeah.
nothing but debated, and
Yeah,
it'll
exactly.
be balanced out like it normally is.
Exactly, and then Pyramid Fairy will become hot again because I feel like that's in a drought.
I was expecting another tile room with the big key. It was almost the last chest. It was 21 for me. So
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, here goes tile room again.
Yeah, I read it, I think, the same way you would have, Wayne, so I got a nice number 21 as well. So.
Now, I should point out now that Wolfie finally got that ice rod, and she is not happy about that whatsoever. She's now in go mode. She's got to clear Total Rock now.
Wolfie is a he, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, right. Yeah, not her.
But yeah, I figured that you would check it after Ice Colors and be totally annoyed. That's totally like him.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I thought
And
I was
so
going to get
bad.
your favorite spot on Hylia Island with the thing, Ellis, but
I usually check it early. Like
I know,
I check it as early as 8 minutes, but yeah, I remember that seed. Thanks, Frostbite.
Yeah, you make one mistake in a race, people are watching, and it's like the new thing, right? So it's not even really a mistake, but the wrong choice.
That's literally me. 119 sword and Master Sword on Desert Palace. I will never forget that moment as a moment where I'm like, really? Really?
Yeah. But anyways, I gotta run. I got to do some stuff this afternoon. Awesome job, Wayne, keeping the streak alive of putting up some really hot times. And Illis, good run again, and give my best wishes to Wolfie when they finish as well.
Yeah, Frostbite, thanks for the kind words. GG's, man.
GG.
Yeah,
GG.
Frostbite.
I'm gonna also step out, eat some lunch, get some things taken care of. But thanks so much for the interview, guys. Thanks for the commentary. Should be a quick and fun one to watch back. And Illis GG as well. And yeah, let Wolfie know I'm sorry when he gets in here.
GG, Wayne.
Alright, GG.
Have a good one, guys.
Thanks for racing.
Don't play so well next time, okay?
I'll try. Do my best.
Wolfie does have the advantage that he has already done. He has already cleared it fully, so he only has to walk all the way to the boss. And Wolfie is coming up to the last fight for the last crystal. With how it's going, I'd want to say that Wolfie can get a sub 2.
Yeah, it's possible that she can get a sub. He can get a sub 2 here. Nice start for the next fight.
Almost got a 0 cycle. Was so close to getting that 0 cycle.
And down goes Trinex.
If Wolfie wants to get the big key the fastest, I think it's right side. And Wolfie will be entering Ganon's tower at 1 hour 47 minutes and 54 seconds. Let's just hope they will go either Dark Magician or full right.
Yeah, my hope is that they find this will be pretty quick. So, for them at least, they want to get sub 2 hours. It's probably they might have to make this rush through the left side, and even then, it's probably going to come down to the wire.
But this does look like they are going full left. Going right then left. Wolfie is getting close to the big chest, the big key, right now.
Yep, all she's gotta do now is to go through random room and then Bob's chest, and then fight the Ice Emeralds, and she's done.
Sometimes that bunk is really annoying to hit. Like, do you know how many pixels you have to do that bong?
really quick Isarmos.
And there it is.
Now she's got about 9 minutes to make this count. And again, this is gonna come down to the wire for Wolfie. If they can make the 2 hours.
Lucky fairy drop. Always nice to get a fairy beat extra health.
Yeah, that fairy drop at the beginning of the race, though, wasn't really kind, but whatever. We got bombs there either way, so.
Good question in chat. Where was Butter?
I'm trying to remember that, actually. I know that Hype Cave had the Temper Sword.
Oh yeah, it was Stumpy. Stumpy.
Yeah, Stumpy had K40. Stumpy had the sword.
Stumpy had K45. Yes.
Yeah.
Haha.
I mean, Stumpy's right next to K45. So there's that.
Stumpy just had 2 items and he thought, let's put one right in that cave, no one checks it.
Well, in the vanilla game, but in randomizer, there are people gonna be checking that either way, so sucks to be him, I guess.
That's not a good spot to hide your item, Stumpy.
Oh no.
Let's hope for no GTD spawn here. As that would make this just so annoying.
Yeah.
And we got through cleanly. Nice. Oh, I never saw that bonk strat before. That's a cool strat.
Interesting play from Wolfie.
It doesn't save any time though.
Yeah.
It just looks fancy.
Looking fancy is sometimes all you need. Because,
Definitely.
like, if you can't get good times, you have to look fancy.
Cough and a cough. He makes anything fancy, even if he's ahead, even if he's ahead of the race, i.e., hovering. Yeah, the blue boomerang was on the bumper ledge. Alright, he's got 4 minutes to make this Aga 2 and Ganon fight quick.
But with Butters and Silvers, that should be very much doable.
Yeah, of course. So far, really good Aga 2.
I believe only one more.
If there's only one.
Yeah.
Smooth fight for Wolfie.
Come on, Wolfie, you can do this.
She's got about 3 minutes, about 4 minutes and 15 seconds to do it.
I believe 8 hits every phase,
Yeah,
so
although
that's already 6.
to be fair, Gan has a pretty rough teleport sequence in this fight alone, but I think this should be fine regardless.
Oh, and I'm getting corrected. It's 6 hits with butter. So it's even faster than I thought. Already at phase 3, almost at phase 4.
Getting those silver arrows ready.
And that is the hit that enters phase 4. Going for a single hit.
Not the good positioning for Torch Glitch, but that's fine. The silver arrows, this will make up for that little bit of lost time there,
And there it goes. Ganon is down. Put your GGs in chat. Wolfie will get that sub 2 out.
And Wolfie is the final finisher in 17th place with a time of 1:58:30 exactly.
We're working on getting them into the interview booth, so just a hot second, then we'll get on with the interview.
While this is going on, I will update on the remaining runners that finished. Shiva Hayes, 87, had finished in 14th place with a time of 1:45:31. Kuride in 15th place with a time of 1:46:44. Rudolph Fahrenheit in 16th place with a time of 1:49:07. And we're joined by Wolfie. GG, man.
GG.
GG, Wolfie. Rough.
Dead eye throat though.
Yeah, that was really rough to get seeing that happen.
Yeah, I felt really good about that seed. Like my routing, I felt like was near to perfect. My execution I was pretty happy with my execution actually. But yeah. Problem was, I usually check Catfish and Pyramid before I go into Port. So I had the option to get my Fire Rod. Do I check Pyramid and Catfish into Zora? Or do I check Hobo into Zora? And I did exactly the wrong thing.
I checked Graveyard Legend to Zora, missing my Ice Rod as well. But at least I got my book.
Yeah. That was alright.
Yeah, but maybe you should have considered checking Hobo before Ice Palace. At least that's what I did. I was about to get ready to go to Ice Palace after Battle Rock, but then I figured I'd finish one of locations, and that was the result.
Yeah. I was thinking, if I check Catfish, I leave Hobo for a very, very long time. So
I guess.
yeah.
It's not too far from the house though, so you can consider it.
Yeah, Wolfie, you actually kept pace at the start for like the longest time, and the moment I really noticed you fell a little behind was because you missed the Ice Rod. So your execution and everything, I'd say, was at least on par or just a little shy of Buane, Illis, and Frostbite. So that was really good, I'd say.
Oh, That's a really big compliment, actually. I'm happy about that. But yeah, I think the cracking point was when I had to take the little break for 3 minutes or something, because again, my doorbell. God damn. That happens so many times in the German weeklies and all. I really have to wall off my front door.
Anything specific about the seed you'd like to say?
I think it was an amazing seed. It could have been so great if I just got that ice rod. Like everything was on the way, like perfectly laid out. But I mean, it was good, I think.
That's what these seeds kind of do to you. Give you a lot of nice items at the start and then one item just out of the way.
Always the ice rod or the hook shot.
Well, Ellis, do you have some final words to say about this seed, or are you content with all of this?
I wanted to say something kind of off topic. Wolf, you debated me last time into commentating, and then you went off with some girl. Shoutouts to Xanasia. and I had to commentate with Tear.
Oh, that's great.
That wasn't my decision.
I love Tear, and it's great, but it was pretty funny that the inspiration came from possibly commentating with you, and then that happens.
Well, that wasn't absolutely on me, because
I know. It's
yeah,
just kind
the
of funny.
admin
And
thought.
I wanted to tell you the next time we had something like a post-game interview.
Yeah, the admins were like, yeah, we gotta shuffle up a little bit. So yeah.
Sure thing. I can totally see that. As I said, I think it was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was. But soon enough, we probably will do it again.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's all we gotta say. That's gonna do it for us now. Looking at the schedule for tonight, we have just starting now. We have the Star Wars Episode 1 Racer Galactic Pod Racing Circuit over on SG1. Coming up at 9 o'clock, we have an open daily race. It's not decided where it's going to be held at the moment. But also at 9 o'clock, we have the Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer Weekly Race. And then at 10 o'clock, we have the Super Metroid Double Ante Bingo Tournament going on. Again, all those three have not been decided, but you might want to check those out. If you want to check those out, follow the Speed Gaming channels from Speed Gaming itself, and then Speed Gaming 2 through 6, along with the multi-language ones from like Spanish, Portuguese, French, and Dutch, I believe. But aside from that, though, all the runners, they did a good job. I'd like to thank them all. I'd like to thank the tracking team of Oro and Dementsive for going behind the scenes and clicking the buttons, as well as my co-commentator, Demon's Druid, for providing a pretty nice French vanilla race to commentate for you all.
Thank you guys for all that, by the way, before I forget to mention it.
No problem. So, with that, until next time, I am Professor Render, and he is Demon's Druid, signing out. Goodbye. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.